Hello students, as in the last lecture, we saw the sums based on how to find the equation of tangent and equation of normal, and that was your first exercise number 4.1. Now today in this lecture we gonna deal with the sums based on the exercise number 4.3, not the sums based on the exercise number 4.2x. As in the last lecture I told that we will be dealing the sums based on exercise number 4.2, which is an increasing and decreasing function, but that exercise we'll see after the exercise number 4.3. So today in this video lecture we're gonna deal with the sums based on the exercise number 4.3. As your exercise number 4.3, it is very important exercise, as in this chapter there are four exercise. Out of four exercise, the 4.1 and 4.3 will play an important exercise in the board exam, as when you will see the sums in the 4.3 exercise, hardly there are 3 to 4 sums, but each and every sums in the exercise, it is very important and it carries 3 to 4 marks, not less than that. Okay, so in this lecture today we're gonna deal with the sums based on the maxima and minima. So first, of course, we're gonna see the concept, what do you mean by maxima and minima, and after that only we'll take one example. Okay, how to find your maxima and minima answer. So first, let's focus on the concept. Here also same like the first exercise, I had prepared a step, and there are four simple steps which you have to follow to find your answer, maxima or minima. Okay, it is not compulsory for each and every sum you will get the two answer, maxima minima. Sometime you will get either maxima, or sometime you will get either minima answer. Okay, so here what exactly you have to do, you will have one function, that is f of x. F of x actually it is what we used to write like this, yes or no, y equals to right hand side term, it is in terms of x. Here y is nothing but what, it is f of x only. F of x is nothing but like it is y only. So here y and f of x, it is one and the same. Y is also known as function and f of x is also known as function, just here y is replaced by f of x, that's it. And derivative we used to write what, first derivative dy by dx, and the second derivative we write as d square y upon dx square. Here the first derivative is replaced by f dash x, and the second derivative is replaced by f double dash x, that's it. F of x is your y, f dash x is your first derivative, and f double dash x is your third derivative. Okay, now let's see what is maxima and minima. So there is a simple concept. Suppose there is a function y equal to f of x. There is a function y equal to f of x. Okay, or else we can say a function, this function is said to have maxima or minima when, listen carefully. Suppose a function y equals to f of x is said to have a maxima value, we have to replace the value of x. When you will solve, you will get the value of x in particular step. For example, if I say the value of x is 2, yeah, 3, you will substitute the value of x, you will replace this value of x. For example, here I will take the value of x as a, you will replace the value of x by a. Here also same, you will replace the value of x by a. If suppose after substituting, after replacing the value of x by a, if you see that here you are getting the answer less than 0. What do you mean by less than 0? Negative answer. If you are getting the negative answer, straight away you can say that it is maximum. When it will be maximum? When the second derivative, not the first derivative, listen here, it is not the first derivative, second derivative. So in simple language I will say, what do you mean by the maxima and minima? So this is known as second derivative test, this is known as second derivative test, and this is known as what, first derivative test. If your second derivative test is less than 0 at particular value, suppose here value of x is a. When you substitute the value and you see that the value after substituting you are getting the answer less than 0, that means it is in negative. If it is in negative, therefore we can say the second derivative test is maximum. If the second derivative test is greater than 0 after substituting the value of x equals to a at x, if we replace the value of x by a, if you are getting the answer is greater than 0, greater than 0 means what? Of course it is positive. So here if you are getting the answer in positive, so we can say that the function is what? Minimum at that particular point. So in simple language I will say, you will have the value of x, replace the value of x by a. After substituting the value of x by a, if you are getting the answer in negative answer, that means less than 0. Negative means less than 0, positive means greater than 0. If you are getting the second derivative test less than 0, that means we can say the function is maximum. If you are getting the answer of second derivative test greater than 0, so therefore we can say the function is minimum. That's it. Simple language. Less than 0 means maximum, greater than 0 means minimum, but for the second derivative test, not for the first. Remember this, okay? For the second derivative test. Okay, so let's move on to the concept now. So what is the concept? Just simply, as I told, that you have to follow this 4 simple steps to find the answer. What is the step number 1? You will write f of x, you will find f dash x, you will find f double dash x. So here we have f of x. Now we'll find, as per the rule, as per the concept, here we have to find the first derivative. F dash x is known as first derivative test, f double dash x is known as what? Second derivative test. Yes or no? So in the first derivative test, f dash x means we have to derivate with respect to x. Okay, so this 2 will be as it is. We'll apply the formula of x raised to n. So this will be what? 3x square. Yes or no? This 21 is constant, we'll keep as it is. Derivative of x square is what? 2x. We'll keep this 36 as it is. And derivative of x is what? 1 minus 20. So f dash x is equal to what? So here we got 6x square minus 21 two side is 42x and 36 one side is 36. Sorry, here derivative of 20 will be what? 0. Why 20 will be 0? Because derivative of any constant number is what? 0. Derivative, we know that derivative of any constant number, derivative of any constant number is what? 0. So remember, don't write 20, okay, as here I wrote here 20. So because we are finding the derivative, no? So 2 will be same. Derivative of x cube will be 3x square. 21 will be same. Derivative of x square is 2x. 36 will be same. Derivative of x is 1 and derivative of any constant number is 0. So in the next step, no need of writing 0 here. Okay, I hope you all understood the first step, how to find the first derivative. Now we'll move on to the second derivative. For second derivative test, we have to derivate the first derivative to get the second one. So here we have f of x. To the f of x only we have to derivate. So there you will get the second derivative test. So we'll keep this 6 as it is. Okay. So x square will be 2x. We'll keep this 42 as it is. Derivative of x is 1 and derivative of any constant number is 0. So in the next step we can say that here we are getting 12x minus 42. So in this way you have to find your first derivative answer for f of x and second derivative answer. So once again I will explain. According to the first step, here we have f of x, f dash x and f double dash x. So here we have f of x. We had find the f dash x. F dash x is means what? It is the first derivative test with respect to x. As here we have to find the derivative with respect to x. So here we got the answer. Remember that any derivative of any constant number is 0. Okay. Don't make any mistake while finding the answer of derivative of any particular term. So after that we have to derivate the first derivative only to get the second derivative test. So here we got the second answer also, second derivative also. F double dash x is equals to 12x minus 42. Okay, so now this 2 will play an important role in the further steps. So as we had completed with the first step, I hope you all understood how to process the steps. So now we'll move on to the step number 2. As in the step number 2, it says that at that first derivative you have to put x equals to 0. So when you will put f dash x equals to 0, sometime what will happen, you will get a quadratic equation. As we know that whenever it is a quadratic equation, of course the value of x will be 2. You will get 2 answer of x. Whenever it is a linear equation, you will get the value of x as only one answer. It means what? Now in the step number 2, what I will do here, according to the first step, as at that particular point, the first at that particular point f dash x, so here you will get the value of x. So remember, here I will write at this point, at the second point f dash x, you will get the value of, you will get the value of x. Okay, so these are the tricks in time explaining now. F dash x, you will get what? The value of x. In f double dash x, you will get whether the function is maxima or minima, and from the first step you will get the exact value of maxima and minima. So now first thing we have to find what? The value of x. After that, the value of x you will substitute in the f dash x to get to know whether the function it is maxima or minima, and the exact answer you will get from where? F of x. So this is the final answer. From here you will get the final answer. So let's move with the steps. So you will come to know exactly how to present your sum. As in the step number 2, it says that we have to take first derivative equal to x. So at that point you will get the value of x. So now we'll see how to find the value of x. So just simply follow the steps. Okay, so f dash x you will write 0. So here we have f dash x, that is 6x square minus 42x plus 36 equals to 0. So therefore, as here clearly we can see that here 6 is common. 6 sevens are 6, 6 are. If you want, you can remove common, or else you can direct solve the sum. As clearly we can see the power of the variable is 2. If it is 2, it is a quadratic equation. If it is a quadratic equation, there are many steps from which you can find the answer, by using splitting of middle term, by formula method, or by using coefficient third term method. Okay, so but I will suggest here to solve the sum of any quadratic equation by factorization method, that means by using splitting of middle term only. So just check here, clearly we can see that the 6 is common. First reduce the term and then solve, so it will be easy for you all to find the answer of x. So here 6 is common, so inside the bracket you will get x square minus 7x plus 6 equal to 0. Now this 6 will go down, so here x square minus 7x plus 6 equal to 6 will go down, so 0 upon n number will be what? 0 here. Okay, so now we'll split this equation, as your product is what? 6. The product is 6. Okay, yes or no? The product is 6. So we'll write what? 6 ones are 6 you will get, and minus 6 and minus 1 will be what? Minus 7. So here x square minus 6x minus 1x plus 6 equals to 0. Here no need of writing 1x, it is understood. So here you will get what? X is common, so inside the bracket you will get x minus 6. Here nothing is there, so 1 will be the common. Here also x minus 6 equals to 0. So here you will get x minus 6 and x minus 1 equals to 0. So therefore x minus 6 equals to 0 or x minus 1 equals to 0. So therefore x equal to 6, here we got the first value of x, or x equals to 1, that is the second value of x. So as I told, in the second step you will get the value of x. So whenever it is a quadratic equation you will get two answer, whenever it is a linear equation you will get only one answer. So remember here, whenever you are getting two answer, so there is a common sense, one value goes in maximum and one value will goes in minimum. It is not that if you are getting the two values, so both the values will be maximum or both the values will be minimum. So now if you are getting the two values of x, straight away either x equal to 6 will be maximum, at that the function will be maximum at x equal to 6, or it will be minimum at x equals to 1, or vice versa. So whenever you are getting the two values, so remember, one will turns to maxima and one will turns to minima, or else vice versa. Sometimes this will be minima and sometimes this will be maxima, it depends now. So now we'll, for that only we'll move on to the step number 3 to check at which particular point at x equal to 6 whether it is maximum or minimum, or at x equals to 1 it is maximum or minimum. To check that, now we'll follow the step number 3. So what is the step number 3? What is the step number 3? In the step number 3, first we'll take the first value of x. So here we have the first value of x, that is 6, and then after that we'll take the second value. Okay, so first we'll check for x equal to 6. At x equal to 6 the function is maxima or minima, that will check first. Okay, so now here we'll write for x equals to a, so we'll consider this as a and this as b. So here we have x equal to 6. So here what exactly we'll do, here we have f of f double dash x, that is 12x minus 42. Just remember this part, the value of x you will get from first derivative, and from the second derivative you can predict the function is maxima or minima, and that exact value we will get from f of x. So we done with the first part, that is value of x. This was the value of x. Now we have to consider at that particular point x equal to 6 or x equal to 1, which at that particular point the function is maxima or minima. To check that we have to follow the step number 3 and step number 4. So we'll take the first value and we'll substitute the value in the second derivative to check whether the function is maxima or minima. So simply what you will do here, so here you will replace the value of x by 6. So 12 into 6 minus 42. Okay, 12 into 6 minus 42. So 12 6 is 72 minus 42. Yes or no? So 72 minus 42 is what? 30. So here clearly we can see that your 30 is what? Greater than 0. Yes or no? So clearly we can see that the second derivative at x equals to 6 we are getting 30, and 30 is positive number, as is if it is positive, as I told, if it is positive that means it is greater than 0. So here at that value at x equals to 6, clearly we can see that the value here we are getting what? Greater than 0. If the value is greater than 0, straight away we can write that the function, that is f of x, is minimum, because when it is greater than 0 it means minimum, when it is less than 0 it is maximum. So here we got the answer that at x equals to 6 we are getting what? The function is minimum. So f of x is minimum at x equals to 6. Okay, so now we have to find the minimum value, yes or no? Okay, so sometime what will happen, it is not compulsory that first one always it will turns to minimum. No, not like that. Sometime what will happen, the first value it will be maximum also, and second value will be minimum. So for this sum here, the first value, as we first value consider as a and second value we had consider as b. So directly here clearly we can see that at x equals to 6 we are getting the function is minimum. So for each and every sum it is not compulsory that the first term will turns to minimum only. No, not like that. Okay, remember this, sometimes it will be maximum, sometimes it will be minimums. As here we got the minimum. Okay, so now, so so sometimes you will get the first value as maximum, sometimes you will get the first value as minimum. This was just a theory and explanation part, na? As I took for x equals to a as maximum and b as minimum. Okay, the step will go vice versa also. Okay, so after f of x, so here we got the value of x, yes or no? As per the rule, we have to find the value of x. After that, we have to guess whether it is maximum or minimum, and now we have to find the exact value of minima and maximum. So here what you will do now, as here we got the function is minimum, to find the minimum value, to find the minimum value, you will write f of x here. What is f of x? That's the actual question. What was the actual question? It was 2x cube minus 21x square plus 36x minus 20. Okay, so now we'll check for at x equal to 6. At x equals to 6, exact value of minimum, what you will get the exact value. Okay, so here we'll replace the value of x by 6. Okay, so here in place of f of x you can write directly as f of 6 also, or else just write add x equal to 6. Add x equal to 6 means you will replace the value of x by 6 here. So 21 into 6 square plus 36 into 2 minus 20. So here 2 into 6 cube is what? So here 6 cube is what? 216. Okay, so 21 into 6 square is what? 36. Yes or no? Sorry, here the value of x is what? 6. We'll write 6, not 2. Okay, so just be careful while substituting, while finding the answer. Okay, so 36 6 again it will be 216 because we have to replace the x by 6. Yes or no? So here I wrote, actually I mistakenly I wrote here 2, so it will be 6 only. Okay, so minus 20. So 2 into 216 you will get 432. 21 that will be 756 plus 216 minus 20. Okay, so when you will subtract this 432 minus 756, that will be minus 332, minus 332. Out of minus 332, if you add 216, so that will be minus 108, and now we'll subtract minus 20. So here you will get minus 128 as the answer. Just add and subtract and see, you will get the answer as minus 128. So here we can write what? Here you are getting positive, negative, don't worry about that. Whatever the value here you are getting, whether it is positive or negative, okay, don't worry about that. Simply you will write the function f of x as minimum value minus 128, but where? At x equals to 6. So here it is common sense that at x equals to 6 we got the minimum. So of course at x equal to 1 the function will be what? It has to be maximum only. As I told while explaining the concept, both the values, it will not turns to maximum or it will not turns to minimum. Okay, so one value will be, if one value if you are getting maximum, so second value will be minimum, or else vice versa. If first value if you are getting minimum, the second value of course it has to be maximum only. I hope you all understood till here. Just simple steps you have to follow. Okay, just remember this three part. What? The value of x you will get from where? F dash x. From f double dash x you will come to know that whether it is maximum or minimum. From value of f dash x, here we got the value of x. The value of x you will get from where? F dash x. in f of x you can predict whether it is maximum or minimum. The exact value from where you will get from f of x. Just remember this three things. Value of x you will get from first derivative. From the second derivative you can predict the at that particular point the function is maximum or minimum, and exact value you will get from f of x only. So the actual answer, it is where it lies in f of x only. Okay, so these are the steps which you have to follow to find the maxima or to guess whether the function it is maxima or minima. Okay, so now of course if x equal to 6 is at x equal to 6 the function it is minima, common sense here. So x equal to 1 it has to be maximum. So let's see whether we are getting the maxima or not. Maxima and minima means what? If the double derivative after substitute the value of x in the second derivative test, if you are getting the answer less than 0 means negative. As here we got in the second derivative test, if we got the answer as 30, and 30 is what? It is more than 0. More than 0 means what? It is positive value. If you are getting the positive value the function is minimum. If you are getting the negative value the function is minimum. So let's see for at x equals to 2 now. So what will be the answer? So now the last step, as I told, it is not compulsory in the step number 3 only you will get maxima. Sometime you will get in the step number 3 minima also. It is vice versa. Sometimes in the step number 3 you will get maxima, in the step number 4 minima, or sometime in the step number 3 you will get minima, and in the step number 4 maxima. It depends on the values which we got. So here we got x equal to 6 and x equal to 1. So at x equal to 6 clearly we can see that the function is minima. So now we'll move on to find the exact value at x equal to 1. So for x equals to 1, okay, for x equals to 1 we'll take the second derivative. So second derivative is what? 12x minus 42, 12x minus 42. So at x equals to 1, so we'll replace the value of x by 1. So 12 into 1 minus 42. Yes or no? So this is 12 minus 42. So 12 minus 42 is what? Minus 30. And of course here we got what? Negative answer, which is always less than 0. So therefore here clearly we can see that f of x at x equals to 1 it is less than 0. So f it is greater than 0, so the function is minimum. So here we got the negative answer. If it is negative, yes or no, the function is less than 0, so that means the function is what? Maximum. If we are getting the positive value for f double dash x, so the function is what? Minimum. So we are getting what? Negative answer. So negative answer, so you will write what? F of x is maximum at x equals to 1. Now we have to find the exact value. So to find the exact value, I hope you all understood the sums. And to find the exact value, what we will do, we'll substitute the value in f of x. So now we'll check at x equals to 1, so what will the maximum value? So f of x is the actual question, that is 2x cube minus 21x square plus 36x minus 20. So at x equals to 1 means what? Simply we'll replace the value of x by 1. So 2 into 1 cube minus 21 into 1 square plus 36 into 1 minus 20. So 2 into 1 cube is 1, 21 into 1 square is 1, 36 into 1 is 36, and minus 20. So 2 ones are, it is what? 2 minus 21 plus 36 minus 20. So 2 minus 21 it is minus 19 plus 36 minus 19 minus 29 minus 39 plus 36 will get minus 3 here. So yes, here we are getting what? Minus 3. So here in the last step you will write, as I told, whether it is positive and negative, don't worry about that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Here you are getting the value. the positive and negative. Whenever you are finding the exact value of maxima and minima, remember whatever the answer it is, if you are getting here, whether it is positive or negative, don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry that if you're getting the negative, that means our answer is negative, that means our answer is wrong. If you're getting the answer is positive, that means our answer is wrong. No, not like that. Here to find, whenever you will find the exact value, sometimes the answer will be negative and sometimes the answer will be positive. Just you have to check. This is the main part, to check at which particular point the function is maximum minimum. As for this sum, as x equal to 6, when you will see the backside answer, it will clearly mention that at x equal to 6 the function is minimum and x equal to 1 the function is maximum. And the rest, to find the exact value and for the minimum and maximum, it will be perfect only if you are getting this answer perfectly, and if you are writing the step perfect. X equal to 6 is minimum and x equal to 1 is minimum, so of course you will get the value of x at 6, the minimum answer. So don't worry about this whether you are getting the positive or negative. Okay, just find out the answer and just write that the function is minimum value at x equal to 6. Here you will write what? The function f of x as maximum value minus 3 but at x equals to 1. So that was the sum. So in this way you have to present your sum. As I told that your third exercise will play an important role for the board exam, and from this exercise hardly there are 3-4 sums, and each and every sum it carries for 3 to 4 marks, not less than that. And this sum, the same sum, it is there in your exercise number 4.3. it is your question number 1, first one. And this sum actually is a very very important sum, so practice these sums for 3 to 4 times. Okay, so once again I will explain. Simply you have to follow this 4 step. First you will write f of x, then you will find the first derivative, then after that you will find the second derivative. From the first derivative you will get the value of x. From the second derivative you will come to know that the function is maximum or minimum, and exact value you will get from where? F of x. So the exact answer, the final answer you will get from f of x. Okay, so first we'll find the value of x. So from value of x, from where you will get? From f dash x. So in the step number 2 you will write f dash x equal to 0. You will get the answer. So if it is quadratic equation, of course there you will get 2 answer of x. If it is a linear equation you will get only 1 answer. So remember, whenever you are getting 2 answer, so the first answer will be maxima or second answer will be minima, or vice versa. The first answer will be minima or second value will be maxima. But remember, whenever it is a linear equation and you are getting, whether it is a linear or any equation, and if you are getting the answer only one answer only if you are getting, so either it will be maxima or it will be minima. Of course, common sense. If you are getting only one value, so what can we predict? So it will be what? That particular value, either it will be maxima or it will be minima. When you are getting two values, so remember, one value will turns to maxima and one value will turns to minima. After that you have to follow the step number 3 and 4 to get the exact value of maxima and minima value. So remember, it is not compulsory that in the step number 3 you will always get the maxima. Sometimes you will get minima also. But these steps are what we can say, it can be flip. Okay, it's not compulsory that in the step number 3 only you will get the maximum value. Okay, just follow this 4 step to get the perfect answer. I hope you all understood this sum. So in the next lecture, we'll take some more example based on this. Till then, goodbye. See you in next lecture.